Life is not about waiting for the storm to pass. It's about learning how to dance in the rain. And sometimes the most powerful stories are not about kings, billionaires, or celebrities, but about ordinary people who dared to keep walking when the world told them to stop. Today, I will tell you a story that could change the way you look at your own life forever. The story, The Mountain Within. Once upon a time, in a quiet town nestled between rolling hills, there lived a young man named Ethan. Ethan wasn't born into wealth, fame, or privilege. He was just like many of us, an ordinary soul with extraordinary dreams. From childhood, Ethan had always looked up at a mountain near his town. It was tall, majestic, and covered in clouds most of the year. The people of his town called it the Mountain of Fear, not because it was dangerous, but because everyone who had tried to climb it had failed. Yet for Ethan, that mountain wasn't fear, it was hope. He believed that beyond the clouds, on the peak, was a view so breathtaking it could change the way a person looked at life. But there was a problem. Ethan wasn't strong, he wasn't rich, he wasn't trained, and everyone around him laughed whenever he shared his dream. "Ethan," they said, "you can't even run a mile without getting tired. Do you really think you can climb the mountain that no one has ever conquered?" Most people would have given up after hearing that, but not Ethan. He decided that no matter how long it took, he would climb the mountain, not to prove others wrong, but to prove himself right. The first step. The next morning, he put on his old shoes and began walking toward the mountain. The path was rocky and the climb was steep. Within an hour, his legs burned and his breath grew heavy. Doubts filled his mind. Maybe they were right. Maybe I can't do this. But then he remembered something his mother once told him. The first step is the hardest, but it's also the most important. So Ethan kept going, one step at a time. The people who gave up. As he climbed higher, he found something surprising. He saw abandoned camps, places where people before him had stopped and given up. Some had stopped just a few miles in. Others made it halfway. Their supplies, broken tools, and torn tents were left behind, like silent reminders of broken dreams. Ethan thought to himself, they gave up because it was hard. But maybe, just maybe, if I don't give up, I will see what they never saw. And so he pressed on. The storm. After days of climbing, he faced his greatest challenge yet. A storm rolled in. Thunder roared, rain poured, and the winds nearly knocked him off the mountain. For a moment, he clung to a rock, terrified. What if I die here? What if this is the end? His heart pounded, his hands shook, and then in that terrifying silence between thunderclaps, he heard his own inner voice whisper, "Courage is not the absence of fear. It's moving forward despite it." Ethan realized that the storm wasn't there to stop him. It was there to test him. So, drenched, cold, and trembling, he took another step, and then another, and another. The Valley of Doubt. When the storm passed, Ethan came across a flat valley near the top. He was exhausted, starving, and tempted to turn back. But there he met an old traveler sitting by a fire. The man looked wise, with silver hair and tired eyes. The traveler asked, "Young man, why are you climbing this mountain?" Ethan replied, Because I believe the view from the top will change my life." The old man smiled. "I've seen many people try. Most quit when the pain grew too heavy. But let me tell you something, son. The mountain is not outside of you. The mountain is within you. If you conquer yourself, no storm, no rock, no fear can ever stop you." Those words lit a fire in Ethan's soul. The final push. With renewed strength, Ethan pushed forward. His legs felt like iron, his lungs burned, but his heart blazed with determination. And finally, after weeks of struggle, he reached the peak. When he stood at the top, he was not the same person who had started the journey. The view stretched beyond the horizon, sunlight spilling over valleys, rivers glistening like silver threads, and clouds floating beneath him. Tears rolled down his face, not because the view was beautiful, but because he had become stronger than his fears, his doubts, and his limits. The lesson. Ethan returned to his town, but he didn't brag about his victory. Instead, he shared his story. He told people that the true mountain was not the one outside, but the one inside. Every person has their own mountain. For some, it's poverty. For others, it's fear. For others, it's self-doubt. But like Ethan, if you dare to take one step at a time, keep moving through the storms, and conquer yourself, you too can reach your peak. My friend, your mountain is waiting. Maybe people laugh at your dreams. Maybe you feel weak, tired, and alone. But remember Ethan's story. Remember that the mountain is not outside, it's within. And if you conquer yourself, the world will bow to your strength. So go, climb your mountain, because the view from the top is worth every step.